honestly, Tony, this is a story whose time has come, quite honestly. You know, what I like is that this is anchored in the real world. In fact, in many cases, given the spiritual side of a lot of this, very real. I think the context of also the missing Indigenous women being sort of the backdrop and anchor and bringing awareness to what is very much a real life situation, I think is very important at this point, and to be able to bring some of that news to light and do it in this way, I think is important. And I think, quite honestly, we haven't really seen a superhero of this type, sticking one particularly within Navajo Nation and having it be around real world Navajo problems in a very real situation in Albuquerque, I think is important, is a story that should be told. So I think one way or another, you have to find a way to make this movie. But the thing is, you're already starting from a point of, well, this is a pilot. So I'm going to pitch you on why I think it could be a movie and possibly should be a movie. And a movie is the way to possibly bring this to light. There's been other examples of things that have begun as movies that have turned into TV shows. And this is the origin story, right? So you have a perfect example of this is What We Do in the Shadows, which was recent, which turned into a hit series on FX, but it began as a movie. And, you know, you have an opportunity here to do something self-contained. Your story, your first story is very self-contained. And I think by doing it as a movie and taking it through a little bit of the rocky beats, for me, I want to see an extended training montage in here too. I want to see, like, you know, I think you can return and double down on a couple of those things. For me, I would amp up the Native American spiritual side and possibly even bring a tribal aspect into it. And the fact that he's a U.S. military vet, I think, is compelling on top of this. So you manage to thread the needle in a lot of these ways, story-wise, where you can draw on a lot of different mythologies. And there was this one image that you had looking over from the mountains, which almost felt like his bat cave, you know, where he looks out onto Albuquerque, that you can build on into future installments of this. Pitch it potentially as a feature, even if you know that you might want to do this as a pilot, fine. But I would just bring it in purely to see how it resonates with the We Make Movies audience, to get used to pitching this, and to explore the idea of talking to investors and maybe let us connect some dots on our own and see if there's a way to get you where you want to go. Personally, I'm passionate about this story. For me, with this competition, I wanted something that was like, yes, I want to see this movie. I want to see this movie personally. I would show up and see this movie if it was at least done in the way that I can imagine it being done.
Go to WeMakeMovies.org and become a member today.